everyone, and welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com, the number one Superman fan site in the world. In this, our September 12th, 2022 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including what's happening with the cast in regards to Superman and Lois Season 3. We're going to be talking about a Superman or Crypto and Scooby-Doo crossover movie thing. We're going to be talking about Titans Season 4, New York Comic Con, a new era of Superman comic books, and so much more. We're also going to be turning to you to ask for your questions and comments on any particular Superman topic you would like to discuss, and to let you know how all that works and how you can get involved in tonight's show. Let me introduce you to my co-host, Mr. Michael Bailey. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing okay,
That's good.
I guess. Maybe I'm gonna fake it even if I'm not. So it's been a long week.
Yeah, I can imagine. We're going to get into your Dragon Con discussion. Let us know what happened there. But let us know how fans can get involved in tonight's show.
Oh, it's super simple, one might say. That's my terrible joke for the evening. All you really have to do is go to supermanhomepage.com/live and press the call now button. That'll put you into the green room so you can actually watch the show while you're waiting to come on with us, which we usually do about halfway through the show. If you aren't on your computer and you're listening through your fancy smartphone device, just scan the QR code that is on the screen right now, which I don't know how you would do that with your phone. So I'm losing credibility as the seconds pass. So anyways, you can scan the QR code or go to the website. That's how you get into the green room.
Yes, indeed. And if you're a little bit shy, can't be bothered getting on the phone and getting on the camera with us tonight, then you can feel free to post your comments or questions in the comments, in the chat there. The people on YouTube, everyone who's watching it live with us, are doing that right now, saying hello and welcoming each other. And Michael and I keep an eye on that chat room to check out what you're saying, react as necessary, answer any questions you might have. And if you'd like your comment or question featured on the screen live as we go to air, that's called a super chat. All you do is click the dollar symbol there on YouTube. A slider will appear on your screen. You decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate. We will feature your comment or question on the screen as we go. There are super chats, super thanks, super stickers, a lot of super things that you can do with YouTube to feature on our program tonight. And thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. Well, Mike, last week we had our special guest, Chuck Harter, and that was a great interview. We went out for the complete hour with him talking about Superboy and Superpup. But you had returned from Dragon Con, where you had been the host of a number of panels and participated in a number of different things there at Dragon Con. What was it like?
It was weird. And I'm not saying that because of any of the panels or anything like that. Those all went fine. It was just a weird year. Everybody noticed it. I think everybody was still a little anxious because we're not through COVID, and monkeypox is pretty big in this area right now.
Wow.
So we didn't stay in town. We went in and out every night. Panels went well, but the highlight of the show was getting to moderate a panel with John Bogdanove, artist of Superman.
Yes.
Poster's right behind me. One of the nicest guys ever. We've interviewed him before on this show. Jeff and I had him on from Crisis to Crisis. And that was kind of the funny thing is that he walks into the room, and I'm already sitting at the table. And I introduced myself. I'm like, hey, John, I'm Michael. And he's like, hey. I was like, I've interviewed you before. I'm a co-host from Crisis to Crisis. And he's like, oh. And he remembered. And we had a really nice conversation. It helped that I'd already done an interview with him. So I knew which questions to ask to get the best stories. And we chatted a little bit at his table afterwards. And I went by on the last day to say goodbye and all that, and got a couple prints from him, and he signed some of my books, and it was just a really nice time. It was like one of the easiest moderating things because there was a couple panels that did not go as smoothly. But having said that, the funniest part of the night was, or the panel, is that I was wearing this mask right here,
All right.
which is a Superman Batman mask.
Mm-hmm.
And about halfway through the panel, he goes, "It's really weird seeing my artwork on the mask because he drew this Batman." In fact, he's done a lot of Batman work for the merchandising side of
Mm-hmm.
things. So
Okay.
it was just weird in the mid. It was literally like halfway through the panel, and he's just like, "It's just really weird seeing my art on your mask." I was like, "Okay," but no, John and his lovely wife were really great to meet. Um, we just kind of hit it off. It was just, sometimes you meet a creator and it's like very professional,
Mm-hmm.
like not bad, but it's just like, well, thank you and blah blah blah. But no, it was
Very clinical.
just talking with him, and he paid me a couple compliments that I'm not going to get into because I don't like talking about myself like that. But he paid me two compliments that nearly made me burst into tears, just because
Nice.
it was so nice.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And when he signed everything, he signed it to me and Rachel, which also endeared me because a lot of the times Rachel, when I'm doing stuff like this, Rachel kind of gets pushed to the side,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not really anybody's fault. It's just people are usually focused on one thing,
Mm.
but no, he was very intent on including her in everything too, and I brought, because I'm me, I have the platinum edition of the Death of Superman trade paperback. So I brought that, and of course I brought Superman: The Man of Steel #1 because you got to get that signed.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you guys get them too in the UK. Eagle Moss
Yes.
publication puts out like lines of DC and Marvel trades,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, I'm getting all choked up all of a sudden. It's been a weird day. So I brought the Panic in the Sky trade from that line because I'm like, I could get my Panic in the Sky trade, and he's probably seen that. He'd never seen them.
Okay.
And the cool thing was when I opened it up, like all the books that I brought had his art on like the first page. So it was just really, it was just kind of nice that he was signing it over his art. But he's like, I've never seen these before. And I like doing that. I like
Yeah.
having an interesting thing because one, it's cool to have. And two, they may have never seen it. And three, it gives you something to talk to the
Yeah.
person with.
Exactly.
So I did a lot of other panels. I got to see all my good friends, all my friends that we see every year. And it's one of those things where you're picking up conversations from last year as if a year hasn't gone by. I did I was on a panel about the 20th anniversary of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. We did a 30th anniversary of both the X-Men and the Batman animated series. And there was a Rolla panel, and I was on a panel about adaptations. Which I know this is going to shock you. Zack Snyder was brought up, and things got controversial. Um, but just really engaged audiences, which I really like. I did another panel with Jim Starlin and Jerry Conway and Mike DiCarlo about the creation and death of Jason Todd, which really was like 20 minutes worth of panel stuffed into a 1 hour panel. So I had to kind of stretch that out. And the DC in the '90s panel was kind of neat because I got to meet people whose work I really loved in the '90s.
Nice.
Darryl Banks, who helped create Kyle Rayner, and Wade Von Grawbadger, who was an inker on Starman, and Peter David, and it was just a really nice time. It was all the creators that I talked to were super friendly, but it was just hanging with John and getting to do that was like the big thing for me.
Highlight. Very nice. And are any of the panels videoed or put online?
No. You kind of have to do that yourself, and I'm not equipped for that.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of them recorded. I brought a digital recorder with me. I immediately went back to work, and I have not had a day off since. So I have not had time to sit down and go through audio. and it's not like they're hard to edit because you're just basically just playing the audio
Yeah.
and recording a beginning and an end tag. I haven't had time to even do that.
Okay. Well, yeah,
So
Mark in the comments was asking if those panels are available anywhere. So
yeah.
Mike will let us know when he gets around to being able to upload, especially the
Hmm.
John Bogdanov one, so
Hmm.
we can at least listen to it. So yeah, cool, very good. Well, I'm glad you had a good time and it went well, and I'm glad to see that you've recovered. And I know that you've got a lot of work on. Things are going crazy at your premises where you work. So glad you're with us
Hmm.
tonight and that you had a good time.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, well, let's move on. We touched base on a few things at the beginning of this show that we want to talk about. And off the top, I want to start with the movie side of things. And this one came out of nowhere. I was not, it leaked kind of, but there was images that from a South Korean animation studio called Digital Emation. That images that leaked online, giving fans a first look as unyet announced yet unannounced animated project that will see Scooby-Doo team up with Crypto the Superdog and the Legion of Superheroes. Now, Scooby-Doo, Crypto, you think that's fair enough. They're both dogs. Why not? The thing that kind of caught my eye about this one was the fact that the animation and style is kind of based on the 2006-2007 Legion of Superheroes animated series. And you can see there
Oh, cool.
we've got Superman on the right. On the right, and you've got Superman X, aka Kel L, on the left. And yeah, you've got Scooby and Shaggy on the treadmill. Yeah, so Legion members,
That's neat. I like
very
that.
interesting.
I wonder who the guy in the back with the flaming hair is. Can't really make that out, but no,
Mm.
I know that that show had a lot of fans. So that's doing a Scooby Doo crypto. What the heck is going on there?
It looks
The
like
Phantom Zone villains?
yes,
Wow, that's actually kind of cool. And I like that they have red accents. Um, I
yes,
think that's a deep cut to the movie costumes,
yes, exactly. That
if I'm
sometimes have
correct.
a bit of a red tint to them in some pictures. So yeah, that's it's pretty cool. So we don't know when this is going to be announced. We haven't heard any details about this as yet. And as I said, kind of these, someone did a bit of a deep dig onto their website and found these images. So yeah, along with Scooby Doo and Shaggy, we'll be seeing the Legion of Superheroes. Both of those Superman, the Joker, Harley Quinn, three Kryptonian villains that look like General Zod, Ursa, and Non. There could be other names, but yeah, don't know anything else about this as yet, so we'll keep you posted as far as any details that emerge from Warner Brothers as to when this. I think it's like a direct to DVD animated movie, a direct to home video kind of thing will be announced. So we may see something at New York Comic Con. We don't know, but there you go.
I'm actually kind of pulling for the bald one to be Jack Sewer.
Yeah, fair
That would
enough.
be kind of a deeper cut into the into Silver Age Superman.
Mm, indeed. So yeah, we'll keep you posted when any details drop about this Scooby Doo versus and the Legion of Superheroes. Scooby Doo meets Crypto DVD Blu-ray release happens. All right, on things we do know that are taking place, the Super Sons animated movie is not that far away, another month away. But Warner Brothers Entertainment unveiled the fact that they'll be premiering this at New York Comic Con on across the weekend of October 5th to October 9th. New York Comic Con takes place. So Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons will have its world premiere on Friday, October 7th at 3:30 p.m. on the main stage, followed by a panel featuring members of the cast and crew. So that's pretty cool. Witness the unveiling of Warner Brothers Animation's first ever all CG animated feature-length film when they premiere Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons. Says, are to be young and charged with saving the world from impending doom. That's the burden that 11-year-old Jonathan Kent and reluctant young sidekick Damian Wayne face in this all-new DC animated movie. That's pretty cool.
Someone's gonna get really
Yes.
someone's gonna lose their job over referring to Damien as
So,
Superboy's
so
sidekick. That's hilarious.
So yeah, as you said, the movie will premiere there, followed by a panel with the filmmakers and the key cast members. So let's see, what have we got here? We've got Jack Dylan Glazer from Shazam, and Jack Griffo from the Thundermans lead the voice cast as Jonathan Kent and Damian Wayne, respectively. And the supporting cast features Troy Baker as Batman / Bruce Wayne, with Travis Willingham as Superman / Clark Kent. I'm looking forward to this
I mean, it
one.
looks like it's going to be fun.
It
I'm
does.
really looking forward to that movie.
So, yep, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack, Blu-ray and digital will be available starting October 18th. So we're just over a month away from the release of this film, and we have got a countdown and a link on a banner at the top of our website as of today. So counting down to the release of this next month. Super Sons, looking forward to that one. And yeah, that's New York Comic Con. If you're headed there, will be interesting to see what people think of the world premiere. We do have a reporter heading to New York Comic Con on behalf of the Superman homepage, who will be at that premiere and and the panel, and hopefully conducting some interviews as well, one-on-one interviews exclusive for the Superman homepage. So we'll keep you posted when that weekend takes place early next month. All right, we kind of touched on this one briefly last week, but looking at the TV side of things, Superman and Lois season 3 is starting the film already, and they announced the casting last week of a lead villain in the form of Chad L. Coleman, who fans might know from what's he been on? The Orville. I don't know if you've watched that series or not, but Chad L. Coleman, familiar face. He's been cast as the lead villain for season 3 of Superman and Lois. And while we don't know who that lead villain is, the fact that Bruno Mannheim's name was kind of dropped at the end of last season as the head of Intergang, that could be a hint as to who he might be playing.
Yeah, I recognize him from he was a villain in an episode of Criminal Minds.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that as a question. It was in an episode of Criminal Minds, and he was not a good person. He wasn't like one of the usual kind of predators. It was actually a little more sinister than that. Um, I haven't watched the Orville, simply because I don't watch a lot of television. The fact that I got to watch Superman and Lois every week was kind of a minor miracle.
Mm.
And I am watching She-Hulk, but that's just because I'm a Hulk fan. Um, but no, if he's going to be Mannheim, given what I've seen him do before, I think he'll be excellent for it.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Did he see a few people saying, "What, casting a black person as a villain again? Come on, like what's going on there?" But you just cast the best person for the role, like really.
And he's going to be more of a villain for John Henry. So
yeah, who is a
I mean,
hero? Yeah, exactly. But in the big casting news for us this past week was the announcement that Michael Bishop, an Australian actor no less, has been cast to replace Jordan Elsas in the role of Jonathan Kent for season 3 of Superman and Lois. Obviously, we know that Jordan Elsas stepped down for personal reasons, for mental health reasons. Michael Bishop steps in. Saw a lot of people saying he looks more like the brother than Jordan did.
yeah, I was about to say I think he and Alex are going to have like the battle of the crazy hair. But yeah, he looks like like him and Alex Garvin could conceivably be twins.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I didn't want to see Jordan Elsas go.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Michael Bishop has. I do not envy him.
No.
It's hard stepping into a role like that is so like 2 seasons in, that's pretty established. But if they cast him, there was a reason they cast him.
Yeah. And there's a little video that Alex Garfin posted on his social media accounts, I think Instagram, with the two of them together. Check this out. A little bit kind of funny.
Congrats to the new Jonathan Kent. His name is Michael Bishop. He comes all the way from Australia. Just excited to go on this whole journey. Shut up. Really... excited to go on this whole journey, and it's going to be a good ride. Hopefully, a couple seasons here. Yeah. All right.
So there you have it. Tells him to shut up straight away.
I like that.
So it looks like they've already got a good rapport with each other.
Yeah, no, it's just Alex Garfin's TikTok account though is insane.
Yeah,
I probably have said that before, in all the right ways. But no, again, they have rarely cast somebody in any of these CW shows where I've been like, nah, that wasn't a good fit. So it's like one of those things where if they've put him in that role, it's because he gels well with the other actors.
And yeah, they don't have to make any kind of mention of it. Just slot him in, mention that he's Jonathan over and over again, so people just get the point. And we move on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't have to do any kind of plastic surgery gimmick or like they've done with other. And I did a video. I don't know if you saw it, Michael, on YouTube. The recasting. We spoke about it at length previously about all the roles that have been recast in the history of Superman on television over the years, and so I compiled a video together recently and posted on our YouTube channel of documenting all the roles that have been recast over the years, where there's been no mention of them, but of the actor being replaced. Adventures of Superman with the George Reeves TV series being the first one amongst them, but they did it with the Jimmy Olsen in Lois and Clark. But there have been shows like with Smallville where they replaced Morgan Edge. And they did reference the fact that he'd had plastic surgery because they all thought he'd been shot and killed, and he ended up re-emerging and getting plastic surgery, and different actor comes in. But sometimes they reference that, but other times they just replace the actor.
I think you could joke about it. There was a really funny bit on the second episode of She-Hulk where there's a plot point going on that leads back to the 2008 movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk says, "Oh, that's all water in the bridge. I'm a different person, literally." And it's like poking like that. That's cute. That's like, oh, I see what you did there. So, but you don't explain it. Just go with it. I mean, this is how you do. It's the best way to handle it. It's like crossing over. Two companies crossing over. Like a Marvel DC crossover. Don't go into a whole thing about how there's a trans-dimensional portal that's opened up and just tell the story.
Yep, exactly.
There is.
And as we spoke about last week, the cast have returned to filming for Superman and Lois season 3, and Elizabeth Tulloch posted this image of herself on her social media accounts with script in hand. And if you zoom in on that, which I did, you can see that the title of the premiere episode for season 3 is titled Closer or Closer, depending on how you want to pronounce it or which way they're going with it, with Tom Cavanagh as the director, and the script is written by Brent Fletcher and Todd Helbing. And so Bitsy there with script in hand, giving us I'm sure she did that on purpose, like you don't kind of position the script there,
The way she didn't try to hide the script. She put it so that you could see it, and like you said, you could zoom in on it. I tried; it didn't really work with the picture that I saw, but I'm glad you were able to
use
to get in there,
my telescopic vision. So Closer or Closer, I think it'd probably be Closer, is the title of the episode. So looking forward to season 3 of Superman and Lois, which will be expected to premiere on our screens in January 2023. And I'm glad that they've done all the casting that they've needed to do do what they have to do with the cast. And we're ready to go for filming, and off they go. And it'll be interesting to see any kind of behind-the-scenes photos that the cast post on their social media accounts in the following weeks and months.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to it. All right, now on more television side of news, Titans season 4. A lot of people were wondering, is it going to happen? What's happening with HBO Max? Could Titans, be lost to us because of what's going on with all the shows that have been cancelled and canned and movies that have been axed and things like that? But Titans season 4 is going ahead and will actually premiere on HBO Max this November. And we've got a first look at the actor who is playing Lex Luthor for season 4 of Titans, and that is Titus Welliver, who fans might know from Amazon Prime's Bosch. But he's a big comic book fan, was eager to take on the part, and showrunner Greg Walker of Titans said that usually you have to do a whole dog and pony show to get an actor to do the show, but he said that Welliver was just, jumped at it, and he's a giant fan of comic books and everything's pop culture related. And he said he watched every episode of the show and could tell him about certain stories and certain shots. So it was very unexpected to have him being so keen to be part of this series.
Yeah, it does not look like him too.
Yeah.
That beard and that bald head is really kind of throwing me off. I thought that was a completely different actor. I like him. I never watched Bosch. I should, because it looks like a really good show. He's been a kind of a that guy actor, popping up in different shows over the last 20 years. But he was in one of the Transformer films, and I'm not saying this to make fun of him.
Okay.
But I embarrassed myself at the gym because of this guy, because they had the Transformer film he's in on in the media room, and I'm sitting there on the elliptical, and I'm in the middle of my thing, and he is an agent that comes to, they're basically looking for Optimus Prime. And he's just this total jerk, which is the polite way of saying what I want to say. And at one point, Mark Wahlberg goes, "Let me see your warrant." And this man, this proves what a great actor he is. He looks at Mark Wahlberg and literally says, "My face is my warrant." And I just busted out laughing. I'm like, that is such a stupid line. But the fact that he was able to deliver that with like a straight face, like, props to you. And you mentioned that he's a fan. I've seen him. He did a video for Sideshow Collectibles, talking about all the figures that he has. So yeah, it's like we always say, you don't have to be a fan, but it's always kind of cool when they are.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's like a little more legit, really.
And this is really interesting because obviously we've touched, the Titans series has touched on the fact that Superboy, his DNA is made up of part of Superman and part of Lex Luthor. So I'm glad they're going down that track and they're going to actually be delving into that storyline of, he's kind of explored the Superman side of himself a little bit, Superboy. But, now in season 4, Connor will be, delving deeper into the Lex Luthor side of his makeup. And it says here from Greg Walker, the Titans showrunner, what shakes Connor up is an identity story. He's explored his Superman self, but he's not really explored his Lex self. What does that mean when you do? What happens when you give that self the keys to the car? Does it start driving the wrong way at rush hour 100 miles an hour? And so they're going to be getting into Metropolis. Lex Luthor will appear, obviously, as we've just said. I like Titans. It's a very violent show and it can be dark and gritty. But it's nevertheless really entertaining, and I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did.
Yeah, no, I watched the first 2 seasons. I haven't watched season 3 yet. Just not in a hurry to watch Jason Todd get beaten to death. But it's really funny that the ultra violence does throw me off. But I really like the cast and I really like the characters. It's this weird thing where it's just like I wish they were kind of in another show. But I really, especially the guy playing Dick Grayson, that's a hard role to step into. That really is. I mean, Burt Ward casts a really, well, not a long shadow because he's about my height. But you know, that's the indelible like live action Dick Grayson, and then you have Chris O'Donnell, who I think did. I know those movies get a lot of crap, but I think he did well. So to step into it and to just walk in and be so natural,
Mm.
like I believe this dude was Dick Grayson from the jump.
Yeah,
So
and he did really well.
I just really dig the way the cast and how they interact and the storylines. And if they're bringing in Lex Luthor, I guess I got to get caught up on season 3 like really quick.
For sure. Now, Warner Brothers Discovery will present a special panel for Season 4 of Titans during Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con that is, on Sunday, October 9th at 4:15 p.m. So there'll be showrunner and executive producer Greg Walker, series star Brenton Thwaites, and more to be announced as far as cast members who will be part of this panel with first looks, exclusive reveals, and much more. So Damien Holbrook from TV Guide magazine will be the moderator of the panel. That will take place, as I said, on Sunday, October 9th at 4:15 p.m. at New York Comic Con. So if you're headed there and want to know more about the Titans panel, not Titans Season 4, make sure you head to that panel. All right, we're at the halfway mark of tonight's show. We're going to take a quick break, play some messages, then come back on the flip side to discuss what's happening with a new era of comic books. We're also going to do the fan favourite segment of our show, This Week in History, and so much more. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back right after this.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program, just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/Superman Homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Balmer. I'm the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
This Superman movie is brought to you by Canon, the world's leading camera manufacturer.
Quick and happy.
Canavision 8 camcorders.
I thought you were Superman, huh?
Hey, I am.
If it moves, shoot it with a cannon.
And we're back on Superman Homepage Live. Always good to see Christopher Reeve. Love seeing him on the screen. All right, let's get into this, the fan favourite segment of our show. Before we move on to the comic book side of our discussions, here is our intro. All right, Michael, what was our fan favourite question from last week?
What is your favorite alternative Superman costume? And Alexander wrote, I had difficulties answering your question because there's a lot of good alternate suits. My favorite alternate costume is probably Godfall Superman. See picture enclosed. I love it because it's actually a total departure from the suit. This being said, if we can agree that Man of Steel suit was alternate, no controversy intended, I would gladly add it as a magnificent second choice.
Very good. Yeah, I love that that suit. That was a pretty good story as well. kind of like a hidden gem there if you're interested in reading a different type of Superman story. So thank you very much, Alexander. So next up, we had our second response was from Ryan Ignatius Pratt, who said, my favourite alternate Superman costume is the eternally awesome black regeneration recovery suit with the silver S from the Reign of the Superman storyline. Other venerable suits I appreciate are the Kingdom Come Superman suit, the Elseworlds Batman suit from Speeding Bullets, Elseworlds Green Lantern suit from Last Son of Krypton, Superman Blue Energy Containment suit, and the black suit from Dan Jurgens' Lois and Clark maxi series. Yeah, everyone's enamored with this black recovery suit, aren't they?
Yeah, it's very stylish. Black is always in.
It's very shiny.
That Elseworld, that Speeding Bulletins, Superman's about to get an action figure.
Speeding Bullets
from McFarlane. I saw it. I'm debating whether to get it or not because I have issues with the McFarlane stuff. My favorite, not that anyone asked, but my favorite is actually the one from Hunter Prey.
Yes.
It's so like busy, but it's also really awesome. Like you don't really see Superman with like things around his head very often. But it's got a nice cape. The S looks good. I just like it. And coming in second place just to upset everybody and to start the bar fight for the night. Of course, Tyler Hoechlin's first Superman suit with clasps is just classic.
Well, I was going to go with Tyler Hoechlin's first in-story suit was the Fleischer-esque Superman costume. I really liked it. Like as far as live-action suits, I think that was awesome. I know we've gone away from the red trunks a lot in most recent iterations of the costume, but geez, that looked good.
You showed me a picture of it before we went live, back when we could do that.
Yeah.
And I literally yelled, "You cowards!" Just for not going with that suit, because it's just like I like that they do it. I like that we've seen it more than once, but at the same time, it feels like a little like,
yeah,
we're giving you kind of what you want, but no, we're taking it away.
Indeed. All right. So, what is our new fan favorite question for this week?
What is your favorite? Speaking of the Fleischer suit, what is your favorite episode of the Fleischer Superman cartoons?
Yes, I don't know if I wrote episode because I guess they're episodic in some ways, but what's your favorite episode of the Fleischer animated series? Let us know. There are how many of there was there? Was there? I want to say
12 or 13.
Yeah, 13. I wanted to say 13. So yeah, there are a few to choose from. Let us know which is your favorite of the Fleischer animated shorts of Superman. We will get to that when we return to this segment next week. The email address is at the bottom of your screen right there, info@supermanhomepage.com. Send us your answer to this fan favorite question, and we will read them out and possibly show some clips. Yeah, it's a mirror. It's an opposite. It's not like a mirror. It's just like that.
Okay, so there we go.
Yeah, there you go. You got it, Mike. info@supermanhomepage.com. Send us your answers to the fan favorite question, and we will check them out as we get back to this feature next week. All right, let's move into This Week in History. Here's your intro, Mike.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bars of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
Because this one's going to be over kind of quick, because there wasn't that many. We're jumping all the way to 1962 for the first one, for Justice League of America number 15, which has this amazing cover that I know that Steve is about to pull up. There we go. That I'm sure that's considered offensive by somebody. I'm not really. Challenge of the Untouchable Aliens. Interesting. Awesome. Jumping ahead to 1972, we have Superman number 258 with Fury of the Energy Eater. It's a really solid looking cover too. I kind of like that one. Jumping ahead to 1982, Daring New Adventures of Supergirl number 2, Crisis Over Chicago, with a Lois Lane backup story with a bogeyman. Because looks like Humphrey Bogart.
Okay.
It's a joke.
Yes.
Also, Legion of Superheroes number 294, which technically isn't a Superman book, but Superboy was in it, and this is the Great Darkness Saga. So this is like one of those like really important Legion stories.
Nice.
1992, Superman, the Man of Steel number 17. Superman fights the Underworlders, but probably more important for the giant fist that you see at the end of the issue starting to punch against a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because as that cover says, Doomsday is coming. 2002, Adventures of Superman number 608. This is the Ending Battle, Part 2. I remember this being a really big deal. And kind of enjoying it, because Superman, years ago, a couple years ago, I put out there that Superman really needs his own Hush story, which is, like a story that, that two great creators come on and tell like a 12-part Superman story that brings all the toys out and you can just play with them, and at the end just kind of create like an evergreen trade paperback that when someone's like, what's Superman about, you can hand them that story. Yeah. And somebody actually suggested Ending Battle, and the only reason I say no is because he doesn't have the traditional costume. It's still when it was the black
background, yeah,
and all that. But yeah, this was a big deal, because this was really, even though they've already ended the triangle numbering system, this is kind of like the official end of that. So you also had JLA number 71. We're still stuck in the Obsidian Age. It seems to be never ending. In 2012, we have Superboy number 0. Again, nothing. No memory. No idea what this one's about. In the real world, today, September 12th, Lois and Clark premiered on ABC. I vividly remember where I was and what I was doing when it came on.
1993?
1993.
Yeah.
For those of you that have watched the pilot on the DVD, realized you saw things that I didn't see the night it premiered. They cut the whole introduction scene of Lois coming in and having the fake mustache. And there's an extended scene with the later in the pilot of Clark sitting in the storeroom, and they cut that because for whatever reason at 9:45 the pilot ended and they had like this 15-minute behind the scenes thing.
Okay.
Which really didn't serve any function, but I remember seeing those extended scenes later in the season when they reran it. It was like, well, that's kind of weird. September 13th, Mike Grell, who probably better known for drawing Warlord and Green Arrow, but also had a healthy run on Legion of Superheroes, was born in 1947. September 15th, Jackie Cooper was born in 1922. September 16th, Tommy Bond, a fellow child actor with Jackie Cooper, was born in 1926.
Yeah, he played Jimmy Olsen in the 1948-1950 Superman serials with Kirk Allen.
Yep, Kurt Busiek was born on September 16th in 1960, and some guy named Steve Eunice. I toyed with mispronouncing your last name. I decided against it. Was born in 1971. And on September 17th, Bryan Singer was born in 1965. But more importantly to me, Roger Stern was born in 1950. Epic Superman writer. And that is This Week in History.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Michael. Big week of real life, real world stuff. And thank you for including my birthday, which will be this Friday.
It was on there.
Yep, I'll be 51. I'll be 51. Just saying. Going all downhill now. Over the hill.
No, you're plateauing. We'll call it that. It's when you get to be 80 or 90 that you start going downhill.
Fair enough. All right. Well, so that was This Week in History. Thank you very much for that. Let's bring in our regular guest caller, Mark Lax, who is rung in to join us tonight. Welcome, Mark.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well, and yourself?
Hey.
Okay.
What going on?
A lot of stuff. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, but I'm trying to deal with it. So.
Oh, I hope everything continues to improve for you. But I'm glad you could join us tonight, and we can give you an hour of escapism, so to speak.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So
thank you.
Appreciate you joining us. This week, DC made a big announcement in regards to Action Comics 1050, saying that a new era of Superman starts with this anniversary issue. Lex Luthor steals something so important to Clark that it changes the entire planet. And it's got a multitude of variant covers. I'm going to show some of them to you right now.
I think 25.
Something like 25 different variant covers. This is the main cover, which is really nice, really cool image. A lot of people thought it was an Alex Ross image, but it's not. I don't have the name of the artist. I think it's Steve Beach. Yes, there it is on the bottom corner. Is the artist there? But yeah, a lot of different variant covers for this. Mark, what did you make of this announcement?
Oh, I'm excited about it. I mean, a lot of stuff could happen. Of course, there's one thing in particular I hope happens somehow, with
the secret identity.
Yeah, exactly. But even so, it's, I've really been enjoying what Phil Kenny Johnson and Tom Taylor are doing. And so I'm looking forward to it, because I think whatever it is, it'll be something exciting. It'll be something really interesting.
Yeah, they've got Clark and John Kent have taken on some of DC Universe's greatest adversaries, Mongol, Henry Bendix, and Pariah's Dark Army, all to prepare them for their biggest battle ever with Lex Luthor. In an oversized special, Action Comics 1050 features the creative talents of Philip Kennedy Johnson and Mike Perkins, Tom Taylor and Clayton Henry, and Joshua Williamson and Nick Dragota, arriving at local comic shops on December 27th. A new era begins. Over 25 variant covers from some of the biggest names in comics. Don't try to collect them all. I mean, you can if you want, but I think that would be bonkers. Yeah. But nevertheless, you've got some of the biggest names drawing these covers, like Jim Lee, Alex Ross, Lee Weeks, Michael Allred, and so many more. Wow.
I wonder. I just want to say, I wonder with Josh Williamson being a part of this, if there's something he's going to be doing something with Superman. Because you have the two main guys who are doing the two main books, and then you have Josh Williamson. And it's like, well, I wonder why he's there. I mean, I could be just reading something into it, but just kind of interested into maybe they're going to be doing some other book or something.
What do you think, Mike? Is this something that will get you back into comics?
No, but that's nothing against Philip Kennedy Johnson or Tom Taylor. It's just, I honestly just can't see spending $5 an issue month after month, or like $4 or $5. At some point, I do want to get caught up on the World Saga, but I kind of like to read things. I've been very spoiled. I just want to read the whole thing at once. I don't want to wait on a monthly basis. It's a very first world problem to have. I'm kind of with Mark. It would be nice for the secret identity to come back. I don't think it's going to. Even though they said that he's going back to the planet and all that. It's just you can't have him as a reporter at the planet and be Superman at the same time.
No,
and have that be exposed. That doesn't work
from the beginning.
Yeah,
I said that from the beginning. It's ridiculous. Bendis saying, "Oh yeah, he's going to still be a reporter," and I'm like, "How could he be a reporter? He's Superman. Who's gonna talk to him? What politician is going to answer his questions?"
He's going to end up fighting every politician in the country.
Oh yes, that's right. Because
and part of me thinks that 25 variant covers is ridiculous. But on the other hand, if that's what the market will bear, I was a little. Steve has the Michael Allred one as his background today. I thought that meant that this week we were going to get another issue of Superman Space Age, which I am buying.
Yes.
And really enjoying him, but I guess not.
No, not yet.
Whatever.
Not yet. It's coming. I think the last week of this month it will be out. But
Yeah, it's the end of the month.
It says, if you think you've seen the greatest fight between Superman and Lex Luthor, think again. This clash will shake up the course of their lives forever, and this is only the beginning. 2 years of Superman stories come to a head in its oversized, star-studded anniversary issue that launches Superman and the DCU into an exciting new era. So we'll wait and see if that proves to be true. But as I said, that will be on sale on the 27th of December, so the end of the year. And we'll kick off the new year with a new era of stories, seeing how that goes. And there is a Superman panel taking place at New York Comic Con. The DC's Superman panel will be on this November, marks the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman, at a moment when DC's Superman story is more dynamic than ever. So you got Dan Jurgens, Joshua Williamson, Mark Russell, Philip Kennedy Johnson, and moderator Alex Segura, all there to let you know what's coming up for the iconic superhero in 2023. This will take place on Saturday, October 8th at 1:45 p.m. So make sure if you are at Comic-Con in New York, you get along to that Superman panel. All right, as far as Superman comic books that are available this week, there are only 2, but there are some important ones in there, so let's have a look. We've got the Jurassic League, number 5 of 6. Not necessarily important, but still our reviewer, James Lance, is absolutely loving this series and says that it's a must-read. It's got an alternate cover there for Hispanic Heritage Month, which I don't know what that has to do with Jurassic League, but nevertheless, a variant cover. And the main one, Superman Son of Kal-El, number 15. The revolution starts here. This is the finale to the Bendix story. And there is a variant cover right there. And then there's another Super Pets, cute one, that's also available right there. And that is what is out this week for Superman fans reading comic books. I'll definitely be getting the Son of Kal-El one. Haven't got around to reading the Jurassic League one, but the way our reviewer keeps giving it a 5-star rating has got me very interested.
Yeah, I just
not really.
I don't know. I may check it out at some point. It just doesn't interest me. But he's so excited. So into it, loves it. You just got to kind of toss everything away and just say, oh, what the heck, and just buy into it.
Now, as far as something you might want to buy if you've got a little bit of cash sitting aside, there is an auction for this comic book. I don't know if you've seen it before. Action Comics number 1.
Yeah.
It's a CGC 8.5 restored copy. It is supposedly pretty cool as far as the colors are popping and it's really in pristine condition. Obviously, it's been restored, but it's still going to, or expected to sell for over $3 million US. Pocket change for you, surely, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's I got that right here in a cup.
It's an auction.
20s.
Could go for $1. So. I'm sure there's a reserve on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's an auction. I'll start at $10. I'll start at 10.
So this auction is taking place on now. You can place your bids online at comicconnect.com. But the auction will end on Tuesday, September 20th, so a week from now at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Historic Action Comics number 1. Obviously, the first time Superman ever appeared, and $3 million. Plus.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but interesting. Always keen to see what these auctions go for and who. We never usually find out who is the winner, but... should be in a museum, as they say in the classics.
Yes.
Yeah.
But somebody will have the money to buy it. That's what makes me. Somebody will have the $3 million
to put on a comic book.
Who is that person?
Yes, and can I get a commission?
Yes.
I think there's a 15% commission on this for Comic Connect, which is it's not a bad little windfall, but. Action Comics number 1, 2nd edition reprints, and the real originals. Mind the gap. You might need to rephrase that. I'm not sure what you're asking. If they are gone, but I don't know what the question is, but mind the gap. If you want to ask that question again, happy to answer it. Just the rewording. Not sure what he means by that question.
Probably is asking, our Action Comics second edition reprints and the real originals are gone?
Yeah,
That
ask
is
it
weird.
again. we'll try to answer for you in English this time, please. Considering New York Comic Con, I've just mentioned that a fair bit. DC has last week announced no plans for DC Fandom, which we were thinking, with no kind of panels at Comic Con in San Diego, no real, announcements coming up at any of their conventions, other than now we know at New York Comic Con there's going to be things taking place. Does that surprise you there's no DC Fandom, or are we over that hill of, COVID? Now we're back to face-to-face conventions. Is it not surprising?
It's not, given how much slashing that they've done at the company now that Discovery owns it. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't sell it, for parts basically at this point. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
I'm wondering if there were plans in place and, people were behind the scenes working on DC Fandom 2022 and they've just been told, nah, pull the plug, it's not happening anymore. And it's just kind of, okay, well, we'll shift all that kind of gear into the New York Comic Con side of things and just go there.
Yeah, that would have surprised me.
What do they have? I know there are a few movies coming out, but as far as TV shows, the main TV shows would be Superman and Lois and The Flash, and I suppose they can do Titans and but there's nothing they focus. Which would be fine with me, is on the comic books. But even that with Dark Crisis, you don't know what's going to happen when that's over. So it's like, what are they going to showcase, for fandom? So I get it. I get that they don't do it.
Fair enough. Mind the Gap has re-asked the question saying, I read somewhere that most Action Comics #1s were mostly reprints, but I couldn't believe it. I don't think that if you're going to be auctioning off something that's a 1938 Action Comics #1, that you could pass it off if it was a reprint. It wouldn't go for $3 million unless it could be authenticated that it was a original. Because I think every reprint since those originals have stated that they're reprints, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've got a different copyright date and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I don't know if you want to be opening up the CGC glass container to verify that. But
I'm bagging and boarding it and just putting it in the collection. Right there at the front.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mark. Appreciate you signing in for tonight's show. I hope everything goes well for you behind the scenes there, and wish you all the best.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Take care.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
That was Mark Lax joining us, and that pretty much brings us to the end of tonight's show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Superman Homepage Live. Really appreciate you spending the past hour with us tonight on YouTube. And if you want to watch the show again, maybe miss part of it, want to tune in and all over and watch it the full hour, it'll be available on YouTube and on supermanhomepage.com. But Michael and I will be back next week on Monday, September 19th, for another edition of Superman Homepage Live at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. We'll hope you join us then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. Thanks to our patrons and sponsors, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And thank you to my very tired-looking co-host, Michael Bailey. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I'm really flagging here at the end. I'm trying to hide it, but I'm not doing a very good job of it. I am just so freaking exhausted right now. But
you're done.
As always.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes.
You go and hit the pillow. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you joining us tonight. We'll be back next week. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for watching Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. Bye.